stable.
Yes.
But what I would do, I would...
No, you need this to write this proper.
To last one in the house?
I mean, the good ones are there.
Okay.
Yes, okay. So here it's recording, correct?
Okay, so may I use...
Yes, this is the whole reason we have this.
So what's my problem right now?
Okay.
What actually can I help me down? And it's something that's still not clear.
Okay.
Let's say that taxi servers, some taxis,
Okay.
like Uber.
Yes.
That's a great club.
Yes.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Yes.
It's a payment.
Yes.
So each of them, when you look at this, says, okay, we need the app for the car.
Yes.
This part sounds kind of relatively okay. It's an any car, we understand how car function, we understand how the taxi function.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have like an airport pickup, these features.
Standard taxi limo.
Johnny kind of order for Jimmy,
Yes.
what the problems that we talked about yesterday. That's again, but that's all generally understandable because it does not require changing structure of the technological structure, stack of technology, database, like a structure.
Okay.
Because I understand it's kind of ideas when you build a skyscraper, and you have a pretty good idea what's going to be on the 10th floor. It makes it very easy to play in the base.
Okay. Fine.
Our problem,
Yes.
that's going to be, according to your logic, those things exist as an app on a bigger beast.
Yes, on our platform.
Yes, and that's where we go to our platform. So the platform going to have like several layers also.
Okay, yes.
Like a first layer, that's like a technological level, like App Store.
Yes. That's our app store. This is our app store.
Yes, that's App Store. Pretty much like same idea.
Yes.
Problem is App Store, when we talk about relatively closed infrastructure, like an Apple Store, App Store.
Yes.
Not like a, because technically, if we just said, okay, that's an empty table, put your source code on the table, that's an App Store.
Yes.
But it's very inconvenient to use. So the idea is we use that App Store. That App Store sits on like a data exchange things, technically like Facebook. Let's call it Facebook layer.
Okay. Data exchange.
And under that, there is a kind of credentials layer.
Fine. The login, login.
Not just login, like a login, of course,
and
but the
profile.
most important rights, what you can, what you cannot do. And so this can write this can write
Profile,
that.
basically. It's profile. Profile, that gives you access also, not profile as
Yeah, but the problem is your access going to be may be very conditional.
Yes, I get it's like access control, but like Google gives you a profile now when you fucking log into
Yeah,
Google.
but Google itself is just a profile. That's your identification. I don't talk about that part. That's it sits in that layer, but that's not the question.
Okay.
Yeah, but for instance, when we talk about Google has it. For instance, I have a Gmail account.
Yes.
I want to reach like Luxor, like whatever. They have a paid product. No, you cannot reach it until you pay.
Okay.
So there is kind of hookup that you may or may not pay. There is kind of billing may change your privileges. You have like a billing.
Yes, correct. That changes privilege.
Then, like, okay, but for instance, when we talk about Facebook, I can send you a message because I know you, so you can send message me, so you get directly in the inbox. When I send to somebody who I don't know, it goes like at all that level.
You have to pay.
No, I mean that. Forget about like I'm talking about Facebook specifically right now.
Fine. But like in LinkedIn is for example, where you can send message to friend.
Yes.
It's like in third degree, they want money.
Yes. So pretty much as I idea, it's just you have a billing here. Actually, the billing can change. Not credentials,
access.
privileges, level of privileges.
Correct.
Same story like a who's friend. What actually, theoretically, what happened? Let's say I'm John Doe. I'm allowed to see friend of a friend.
Yes.
Just sake of argument, doesn't really matter right now. So what happens if, so my privileges might be changed, not as a result of my actions whatsoever, because you become from to eigen, if eigen get in my circle.
Yes.
So, like other players can change each other privileges even without meaning it.
Yes.
So,
correct.
that creates those three layers, and we actually have one more, which I cannot really stick in the picture yet. That's, let's call it XML. That's again when you say they have a commercial transaction between each other.
Okay, yes, which they're also going to have. Correct, we deal with the taxi service, for example.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, with taxi service, I've already worked with a commercial transaction. So, somewhere in that layer, it's supposed to be somehow organized. Remember, I use XML shop as example, because today you sell, I don't know, parts for car parts, which make, which years, and brake, something. When you go, okay, forget about the car, now we talk about T-shirt.
Yeah.
Structure of the data different.
Yes, you have to, how to wash,
Yes. So all those setup. It's not just
spacing,
that.
what brand.
Yes. And whatever you do, you cannot actually. What the problem is, you cannot say from the beginning. Says I want to prepare those schema to entire world. It's physically impossible.
You need an open key valuing pairs.
Yes. You need to have like ability to build those things.
Yes.
So that's what it says. That's probably going to be what this, for instance, based on relation database.
No SQL.
That's going to be a Mongo, for instance, like a NoSQL database.
Yeah.
Again,
NoSQL database.
there are many different NoSQL database, but for sake of argument, best for that object.
When you remember when I was teaching Mike NoSQL, it's like, so there's no SQL. Mike, it stands for not only SQL. No SQL. Mike said, so this is like no SQL. I said, no, Mike, it stands for, it's short form for not only SQL.
Not only SQL.
Yeah, correct.
Good. Let's kind of use a Mongo.
Yes.
Mongo is good to tangible goods.
Correct.
For non-tangible goods, like a service, it's a different story.
Yes, you need to, on the fly structure.
So,
Later.
now, like when we build it,
Yes.
if we would be in a 1972 classic approach, build from a bottom. You always build like a bottom layer.
That's generally been my approach.
Sorry?
Also. That's generally been my approach also, but I like to think from top, build from bottom.
But that's a problem by two reasons.
Yes.
First of all, because this motherfucker is too big.
Okay. So we can.
Pretty much, by the moment, if it says I want to move in that direction,
No. We need the first. You're right there.
that's the first one. But there's a more important point. I mean, like that's actually part of
But
the
we have to manage. I think we need to start there.
Do me a favor.
And there.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So, no, again, at any moment we can start building from here. But economically, and from like a moving to the market,